Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class. So we're going to take a moment to get centered. But before we even start that, I want to just tell you a little bit about the thought of the class this morning, because it came to me that many of you, several of you are teachers. And so just to have you think about where we're going to build today as we go, okay? So we're going to build into reverse triangle, which many of you might know as a pyramid pose with a twist, okay? And we'll explain a little bit more as I go along and work with the components of those poses that help us hopefully get there without any big issues, okay? So look for a comfortable seat anywhere that you're making contact with the floor or even a chair for this moment. Just find a nice comfortable seat. If your legs are up in the air, you can support them. Mine are sitting, one is on the floor and one is sitting on the other foot. So wherever you find something that's comfortable, you can always put a block underneath. But comfort and support here is key to be able to relax the adductors, okay? Just resting your hands for a moment, dominant hand on top, and just placing the hands gently on the legs or the thighs. And letting your eyes either take a soft gaze toward the floor or close them completely. Without changing it, beginning to notice the breath. Inhaling and exhaling with purpose, with intention. And then letting the intention fade away as you let the universe breathe you for a moment. Just forgetting about your pace, your anything, and just letting yourself be breathed. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. Special prayer of thanksgiving for Baba Hari Das. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga, Ayurveda, and with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So take a moment and think, what do you need to self-transform? What would help you today? Usually the first thing that pops into your mind, hold it there. See if you can turn it into a positive statement as if it had already happened. And state it to yourself 3 times, the Sankhalpa. And then thinking of someone or something to which to dedicate your practice today, let that also come into your mind. Again, usually the first thing that pops in there. And then letting those 2 thoughts just drift down into your heart space, that heart-mind link. Just hold it down in the heart throughout the practice. Join me if you can in one Om, exhaling the breath out and inhaling to chant. Om. Letting your eyes flutter open. And then just shake out your hands for a moment. Okay. I want to make sure that you understand where your thoracic spine is. So touch your shoulders, okay? Clavicle, the top of the clavicle, right in there underneath your clavicle, the top of your lungs is appearing, okay? And then down into your chest is your thoracic cavity. Right below that is your abdominal cavity. So your ribs are covering both cavities. They're covering your abdominal cavity a little bit and all of your thoracic cavity, okay? So somewhere below the bust line begins your abdominal cavity, where you have your stomach on your left side and your liver over on your right side, okay? So our twisting today, we're going to start and do a lot of twisting, okay? We want our twisting to happen in our rib cage. So initially, let's start with your hands at the side of the ribs. Put your thumbs around the back side. And for a couple of breaths, inhale into your hands. Spread the hands, exhale, lungs recoil, let it out. Couple more, inhale. See if you can just droop your little fingers down to touch the low ribs, exhale, let it out. Inhale into the wrists. Chest breathing, exhale, let it out. Okay. So we're going to combine two actions. We're going to exhale, pull the belly to the spine and leave it there. And then we're going to inhale and twist over to the left. But as we start our twist, we're going to wait for the inhale to fill up our hands a little bit. And then we begin our twist. Okay? All the way to the end. All right, let's try it. Exhale, belly to spine. Keep the belly there. And inhale over to the left. Sternum toward the left. You can keep looking at me. That has nothing to do with your twist, your head that is. And exhale back. Good. Exhale, belly to spine. Take a little inhale, catch breath. And inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, return. Belly to spine. Inhale, twist to the left. And exhale, return. Now we're going to go to the right. Exhale, belly to spine. Hold the belly there. Inhale. Twist to the right. Let the inhale move you. Exhale, return. Belly to spine. Inhale, right. Exhale, return. Belly to spine. Pull it in. Inhale. Feel the hands. And return. Good. Now let's add our arms up overhead. Take a nice exhale, round down, inhale, twist over, exhale, release, inhale, hold, exhale, release, back, front, and center, inhale, twist to the right, exhale, release, inhale, hold, exhale, back to the center, inhale, twist to the left, exhale, release, inhale, exhale, back to the center, inhale, twist to the right, keep your belly in, exhale, inhale, exhale, back to the center, okay? And then arms out to the sides, and let's come into table pose. Good. So the first thing we're going to do with table today is take our left foot right out underneath our knee. So left foot underneath your knee. Good. And then put your hands down on the floor, other side, and then begin to straighten the left leg, lean back, and come back into neutral. Straighten the left leg, and come back. Straighten. And come back. One more time. Straighten. And come back. And go ahead and bring that knee back into your table. Good. And now take your right foot out underneath your knee. Good. And then begin to straighten the right leg. And come back. Straighten the right leg. And come back. Straighten. Back. And straighten. Back. Good. And then putting both knees firmly on the floor, hands firmly underneath. Good. And then just a little twist out to the right. And come back. Little twist out to the left. And come back. Keep your hips even. Twist to the right. And come back. Twist to the left. And come back. Good. Take a cat pose or two. Exhaling and curling the spine, pulling the belly in, pull it in, curl, and inhaling. Opposite direction, curling the tailbone to the back of the head toward the tailbone. and then exhale. Follow your breath. And let's find neutral, okay? Press against the floor a lot. And this time we're gonna take, again, our left foot out in front, and this time come off the back leg, off the back knee. Good, get a long line of energy and a low lunge. Good. Begin to straighten the leg and bend, just a little bit. And you can always put blocks underneath your hands. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. One more. Straighten and bend. Go ahead and drop down to your right knee. Let's switch. I'm going to grab a block for both sides. It makes it a lot more accessible. And I'll show that. So now, right foot in front. Right foot in front. Good. And off the back knee, so long line of energy. Good, nice long line. Press through the heel a lot and straighten the right leg and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Last one. Straighten and bend. Good. Drop down to the knee, to the other knee. Good. If you have your blocks, just take them out of the way. And for just a moment, put your hands to face you for just a moment. Right underneath your wrist, right underneath your shoulders, hands facing you. Just that little bit of pressure. You do not have to do anything else in this pose. Fingers abroad. And then flip them around. And then one more time. Just putting a little bit of pressure on the hands differently. Working with the carpal area. Good. And then tent your fingers, just on the fingertips. Tent the fingers, fingertips. Good. Pull the belly into the spine and begin to roll up. Slumping and then coming all the way up. Shoulders up, back, and down. Great. So let's start with our left foot forward. So just up into our lunge. Knee right over the ankle. Good. Back leg can be back a little bit. Good. And the only thing I want you to do is take your body a little closer for a moment. Good. And then drop your right hand underneath the right shoulder and twist. Open to the left. Open to the left. Press into the hand on the floor. Good. Go ahead and curl your right toe under in the back and then press off. Good. Excellent. And release the leg. Come out of the twist and take the leg back. Good. And then let's tent the fingers again. So we have a little bit more height and then place the right leg right in between. Good. And then your left hand, you can even put it on a block if you'd like, make a little bit more height there instead of tented fingers, just a little bit bigger height. Great. And then sweep the right arm open and twist to the right. Press into the hand, press right into the left hand, and then come off the left knee. And then sweep the arm around, back down to the left knee. Retent the fingers and come back into kneeling. And then all the way up into kneeling. Great. We're going to do a little bit of a toe balance. Keep your toes curled under. And balancing on the ball of the foot. From here, we're going to see if we can stand up. We're going to come up standing and trying to stay on the ball of the foot, not let the heels drop. Just staying up. And then roll into the ball of the foot, roll into the heels. Good. Okay. So we're going to take a Hasta, a forward bend in just a moment, and add a little twist there. So I really recommend a block if you have one, okay? So grab your block if you have it. Good. So finding yourself nice and solid. Great. Exhale, head over. Inhale while you're there. And exhale, head up. Just finding that right angle with the body a few times. Exhale, head over. The whole of the foot has to have weight. So pull up the toes, distribute the weight, break the toes down, exhale up. Again, head it over. Don't dump the weight into your toes. Keep it evenly distributed. And exhale up. One last time. Come on over. This time you can release your upper body. Release your upper body a little bit. And then place the block on the floor. It can take any direction you might like. It can be down low. It can be up high. It could be in the middle. Whichever you'd like. But try to find your spine long. Good. So we're going to take a little twist here. Keeping the block underneath your sternum. Putting your left hand on the block. And your right hand, sweep it back and open your whole right shoulder toward the wall. Bring it all the way over, cartwheeling the arm all the way over. Let the shoulder just hang beside the block for a moment. And then lift the shoulder, put it back, okay? So pressing the right hand firmly into the block, sweeping the left arm back, open the left shoulder and sternum, open, 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 arm up, press into the hand on the block, and then all the way over, just letting that left shoulder hang long for a minute, just relax it, and then lift the shoulder and both hands on the block. Good, take a nice inhale, and exhale, push up. Good, up to standing. Great. And now let's go to the back of our mat. Preparing yourself, taking a nice inhale. And as you exhale, stepping your left foot forward. Nice bend to the knee, and then straighten the leg. Back heel is up. Okay, nice bend to the knee, straighten the leg. Bend the knee again, and step back. Okay, so really simple, really simple. Take a nice inhale, exhale, right leg forward, knee is bent, back left heel is up, straighten the leg for a moment, press fully, weight front to back, side to side, evenly balance your weight. Good, bend the knee, and come back. So don't go further than you can get yourself back safely, okay? Nice inhale. Exhale, left leg forward. Good. Off the back heel. Knee is slightly bent over the ankle. Straighten the left knee. Right heel is off the floor. Good. Bend the left knee. Just that little bend. And exhale back. One more time on the right side. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg forward. Knee is bent. Straighten the right knee. Good. Bend the right knee. And on your next exhale, expel yourself back. Good. Okay. And let's just come into a wide-legged Uppa Vista Clonasana for a moment. Wiggle your hips a little bit. We're going to come over into a twist here as well. So take your block if you'd like it. Place it out in front so you can have it right underneath your sternum when you bend. Good. Take a nice inhale and hinge at the hips. Take the waist, take the whole trunk with you. Long line of energy hinging at the hips. Block is right underneath your sternum. right underneath your breastbone, okay? Left hand on the block, right arm sweeping out to the side. Press into the heels, press into the toes, press into the whole of the foot as you turn, and exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good. Just letting that arm hang in a pendulum when it's down. And then pull the shoulder back up, place the scapula back where they go. Good. And then with your left arm down, inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, swing the arm. Inhale, lift and twist. Exhale. Press into the feet, so don't let the hips move by pressing into the feet. Good, and now both hands on the block. Great. Heel, toe, heel. Stay right there, goddess feet, goddess legs. Good. And then bring your hands to the top of your thighs. Bring yourself up, lift belly, pull in your ribs. Begin to straighten the legs, almost to straighten. And lower. Lift the pelvic floor, lift in the belly, almost to straighten. And lower. Lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Good. Go ahead and bring your arms up for just a moment to goddess. Pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, and straighten. Release the arms. Toe, heel, till you find Tadasana. Good. Close your eyes and just take a few soft, gentle breaths. Good, and then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. Good. So back to our Hasta Padasana, hand to foot pose again, and you might have a block handy. We're still going to just work a little bit on this union here from the hip area. So coming forward, long line of energy, looking down at the floor. Good. Just find that L shape with your body. Great. And then taking your block, placing your block outside of your left foot, and gently putting your right hand there. Putting your right hand gently on the block. And then open your left shoulder. Twisting to the left. And come back. Back to neutral, find neutral, place your block over on the right side. Put your left hand on the block on the right side. And then sweeping open. And return. Good, so placing your block somewhere out in front for a moment. Just getting really long. That L shape with your body, that complete angle, right angle. And on your next exhale, push all the way up. Good, okay. So one of the things about the pose we're going to do, pyramid pose, which is straight front leg, back leg. We've created a pyramid beneath my legs. You can see that pyramid there, okay? And I want to show you where we're headed. We're coming down just to find that long line of energy. Hopefully now we're relatively parallel. You can also keep your back heel up all the time, or place it down. You can decide which feels best for you. Placing it down at a 45-degree angle, or keeping it up. But the hips are both facing the mat evenly. And then with my block, right underneath my left shoulder, I'm going to add a twist over to the right side. And then coming back. Okay? So I want us all to come to the back of our mat, have a block handy toward the front of your mat. Okay? And just like we stepped earlier, we're going to step something that's comfortable for us. And we'll play with leaving the heel up or down. Okay? So stepping let's start with our right leg this time. Stepping our right leg forward. Good. Okay? Your back heel can stay up. That will assure you of keeping your hips to the front, which is where we want them. So you're welcome to keep that leg completely balanced. Straighten your right leg, straighten the front. And then from that crease area in our hips, begin your journey over to that right angle. Placing your left hand on a block underneath your shoulder. And then slowly, I'm keeping my left heel up this time. Opening and twisting to the right. Continue to circle the arm all the way around. Good. Bend the knee a little bit and step forward. It's just easier to step forward and then walk back. Okay? This time with our left leg. Ready? Make sure you have space for your blocks. Great. Okay, looking forward. Take an exhale and stepping your left foot forward. Slight bend to the knee. Now I'm keeping my right back heel up through this series this time. Okay? And now I'm going to straighten my front left leg. And then begin to hinge at the hip area. Deep in the hip, at the left hip, right heel stays up. Placing the hands on the block, and the block that I'm going to use and keep is the block that's underneath my right shoulder. And then I'm going to sweep my left arm back and begin to open it all the way out to the left, pressing into the block. Continue to circle the left arm all the way around. Replace it. Make room for your right foot to come up, a little hop. And then exhale, stand in Tadasana. Close your eyes. Bring your hands into Namaskar. Relax the body, the breath, the pelvic floor, the belly, the shoulders, the jaw. Good. And then let's go to the back of the mat and try it one more time. And this time you can decide heel up or heel down. The problem with rolling the heel down is rolling the hip open. So I'm going to do it the same exact way with my heel up. But you're welcome to try either way. Okay, take a nice inhale where you are. Exhale, right leg forward. Nice bend in the knee. Begin to straighten the right leg and hinge at the hip, especially the right thigh. Good. If you have blocks, just hold on to the blocks for a moment. Get yourself stabilized. If you want to play with taking that left foot down, just bring it a tiny bit forward, place the foot at a 45-degree angle, because you have to keep the hips up and even, headed toward the floor. Bringing your block in your left hand underneath your shoulder, and then sweeping your right arm open. Press into the block. Get long in the shoulders, all the way from your hand on the block to your hand at the ceiling. Right leg is straight. Left leg is straight. Cartwheel the arm all the way over. Move the block out of the way so you have a little place to hop your left foot. And exhale out. Good. Walk back. We'll do the left side. Good. Find yourself, look out in front where you're going to go. Prepare yourself mentally. Take an inhale. Exhale, left leg forward. Good. And then slowly distribute your weight, front, back, side, side. And once you're balanced, straighten the front leg. Begin your hinge at the hip. Place your hands on your blocks. Good. And then bring the right block underneath your right shoulder, not too far out to the side because you need to press right into that block. Play with your right foot. Is it good up? Mine's perfect up, but I can try to place it. I feel that it wants to take my right hip out to the right, so I'm coming back with it up. And then with the left arm, sweeping and opening the shoulder all the way open. Continuing to travel the arm all the way around. And then find both blocks. Make room for your left foot. Do a little hop forward. Good. And let's exhale, press up. And let's come back into a squat. Nice low squat. All the way down to the floor. Good. So squatting as far as you can squat. You can be down on your heels or up on your heels. You decide. Bring your arms inside your legs if you can. One more twist in this area. Okay, we're going to twist out to the right first. Out to the right, open. And return. And then out to the left, open. And return. To the right, open, 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 open. Those of you who want to bind can bind here. Placing your arms around your left knee and leg. And return. And then over again to the left side. And return. Good. And then slowly take your hips to the floor. And then let's take the soles of the feet together into Vajrasana. Soles of the feet together. If you have your blocks handy, let's place them underneath our legs to support them fully. So the legs are not hanging in space. They are completely supported by the blocks. Hold on to your shins or ankles or feet as long as it doesn't make you have to curl your low back. Good. And then pull the toes apart for a moment, creating arches, maybe even seeing through the mat to the other side of the mat. You have nice arches on both sides of the feet. And then put your little toes together, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, big toe. Good. Press into all the toes. And then release. Good. And then remove our block. Bringing your left heel into the groin and your right leg back behind you into both pose. Okay, Vrishasana. Sitting up nice and tall, seeing if you can have both sit bones on the ground. And if not, that's fine. Just be where you are for a moment. Pavrita, a little twist over. Keep your hips stable. Keep this in the ribs. So belly to spine on your exhale. Inhale, a little twist over to the left. Inhale again. Exhale again. Inhale again. And exhale, release. Good. And then just bring back the right leg. Bring back the left leg. Put the right heel into the groin and the right leg back behind you. See if you can be relatively even on either sit bone. If the one is peeling, if your left is peeling off, just let it peel off wherever it is. Good. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, right where you are. Don't move. Belly to spine. Inhale, twist, keep twisting. Bring your head toward me. Exhale. Inhale, twist. And exhale, release the pose. Good. And then both legs out into Dandasana. Staff pose. Good. Just make a right angle with the body. Press into the sit bones, bend your knees slightly. Press into the sit bones, bend your knees slightly. Reach up. Because there's going to be a war for your pelvic basket. It's going to have to win. I'd rather your low back win right now than your hamstrings. So knees are slightly bent, as much as you need them to be bent, pressing into the sit bones. Pubic bone, tailbone, everything reaching down evenly. Great. And then open the arms wide out to the side. And then release. Okay. So we're going to go down to the floor. If you're inverting, then you're welcome to do a bridge pose or Viparita Karani Mudra or shoulder stand or headstand or anything that you might do as an inversion. If you're not inverting, I'd like for you to do a twist with me. So I'm not going to lead anybody through an inversion today. I want you to do your own if it's part of your permanent practice, part of your daily practice. Otherwise, I want you to come down and do Jatada Parivartanasana. Okay? So we're going to come all the way down to the floor. And just look up at the ceiling. Don't even worry about looking at your screen. Looking up at the ceiling. Bend your knees. Bring them a little bit closer to your hips. Don't let your knees spread apart. Bring your heels a little closer to your hips. Sorry, your knees are in the air. Good. And then tilt your pubic bone toward the floor until you get a little more low back curve. And then tilt your low back into the floor. Just 2 or 3 pelvic tilts. Dive your pubic bone forward, get a little more low back curve, and then pull your low back down toward the floor, pubic bone reaching towards your belly button. And then dive it again. One last time. And bring the low back into the floor. Good. And then get your low back curve, just your natural low back curve. Take your hips off the floor, press into your feet, hips off the floor. Swish the hips over to the right, 2 or 3 inches, set them down. Draw the knees into the chest. And then drop your knees and legs completely over to the left side. Straighten your legs. And just be there for a moment. Just straighten the legs. Now taking your back right leg, the leg that's on top, your right leg on top, and bring it back down into a straight leg. So just bringing it down, reaching toward me or toward the end, and then taking it back and putting it on top. So just working one leg. And straighten the leg. Both legs are straightened, and then you're bringing the right leg back down as if you were standing, and then taking it out to that right angle again. And one last time. Down as if you were standing, and return. Good. Bend the knees, put your feet on the floor, come back up, straighten your hips out, and swish them down. Just rest. And then press into the feet, lift your hips off the floor, swish them over to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, set them down, draw your knees in towards your chest, drop your legs over to the right side, straighten your knees, straighten the legs. Good, press through the heels. So your body and your legs are at a right angle to one another. And then you're going to take your upper left leg and draw it back down as if you were standing on that leg. So if we were doing Padagustasana with making contact with our right big toe, and then come back into neutral and sweep it down and come back into neutral and sweep it down and come back into neutral. Good. One last time. Sweep it down Come back into neutral. Bend the knees, draw them into the chest, put your feet on the floor, straighten yourself out. Rest for a moment, keep your low back curved, and then finding your Shavasana. Ask yourself, do you need to do any little thing before you find Shavasana? Don't feel trapped by your mat. Let your arms, let your legs go beyond the mat. Feel like a starfish. Begin to relax in the breath, letting the universe breathe you again. Make sure you have your low back curved. Noticing the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest. Not controlling it, just noticing it. Slowly and gently, bringing your awareness into the breath. Find it again in the belly or the chest. Just noticing. Letting your eyes roll in the socket in one direction and then the other. Letting the tongue roam the mouth, the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth. Swishing it along the front of the teeth. And then opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Snap, crackle, and pop into the ears, wriggling your nose, beginning to swim your fingers and twinkle your toes. And then consider how you want to make it over onto a side, right or left, doesn't matter, into embryo pose. All curled up, safe and secure. Do you want to just shrink in? Do you want to take an overhead stretch? And then make your way, you decide slowly how to get into your embryo pose. All curled up, safe and secure. Just resting that little moment, leaving behind anything that no longer serves us in corpse pose. Intentionally leaving it there. Embryo, new beginnings. Every time, new beginning. And then taking the hand of the upper arm and place it on the floor close to you. Keep your chin tucked into your chest. Begin to press the floor away, letting your head be the very last thing that comes up and stack it on your spine. Just finding again your comfortable seat. Just sitting for a moment in a comfortable, easy pose. Asana. Seat. Finding a seat that's comfortable for you. All of the other asanas are simply to help us develop our seat. Our pranayama this morning is going to work right in that same area that we were working in our twist today. From here to here. Not up, not in that sympathetic, nervous, flight and fright, fight, flight, fright, freeze. Not there. Down here where we have our ribs. So not a belly breath, but a chest breath. We're going to use the bellows breath, but not as a breath with a hold or anything, just using it as a pranayama to strengthen that area of our diaphragm. Okay, so placing your hands there. We're going to start with an exhale, belly to spine. Good. Inhale into your hands. And then press it out with sound. Inhale, hands. Exhale out the nose. Inhale, nose. Rhythmically. If you start to get lightheaded, just pause. Take a catch breath or two. Let the lungs fill into your hands. And then just rest into your natural breath. Notice how you feel, body, breath, mind, tripti. Bringing those three energies together at body, breath, mind. Just noticing how it feels. Just letting your body recalibrate. Body, breath, mind. We'll do another 4 or 5 rounds of Bhastrika. Just the breath itself, no holding, no anything, okay? So hands around your ribs. You can feel where that compression comes in. You inhale into your ribs and you exhale by pressing out. Pressing out. That exhale with forced sound out of your nose. I don't know if you can really hear me or not, but maybe, okay? So I'm going to inhale into my hands. And my belly stays stable the whole time. I'm never using any abdominal breathing, any abdominal anything. Exhale, belly to spine, and keep it there. Inhale. Maybe one more. And then just relaxing, hands to your lap. Soft, gentle asana. An easy place. We're going to slide right into a meditation. Our meditation this morning is going to be on the earth element, Prithvi. And the sound of that earth element, the mantra is Lam, Lam, Lam. So you will repeat to yourself silently the bija mantra of the earth element, allowing the mind to consider the earth elements within you, the solidness of your bones and your muscles and your tendons, the organs themselves. Earth element inside you. Lung, 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 lung. Repeating it silently to yourself, the bija mantra of Prithvi, earth. Bringing your awareness into Prithvi, around you, solidity, earth element, trees and rocks, buildings, all of the solid things around you, other people, animals, Prithvi. Thinking of the earth element surrounding you, lung, 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 lung. Bringing your awareness into the place where your body meets the floor, the cushion, the mat, the place just below your physical body of Mooladhara Chakra, earth element, Prithvi, Mooladhara Chakra, lung, 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 lung. Releasing the meditation and the mantra. Sitting quietly for a moment or two, just letting the meditation, the dharana, the concentration integrate into body, breath, mind. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Any merit we may have earned this morning, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. For just a moment, letting your sankalpa come into your mind, repeating it 3 times positively. And your offering, letting that come into the mind space. And then letting those 2 thoughts drop out of your mind into your heart, out of your hands, out of your heart into your hands. And then lift them up, just letting them go off into the universe. Just letting. Bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. I'm coming to you. All right, let's fix it where I can hear you talk. Let's do that first. Well, first let's do the where I can see other people. Let me go to gallery. There I go. I love my gallery view. And let me make it where you can speak. Okay. All right. Namaste. I saw Juan Carlos before class. Namaste, Juan Carlos. Gusto en verte siempre. Nice to have you. Okay, lots of teachers on today. Well, I'm glad I went ahead and explained what was going on before I got started, just so you could hopefully sort of see the method to my madness today. Any questions about the practice or any comments or anything, Tina?
Yeah, so when we were in triangle twist, I'm curious because I learned this with, for example, the block outside pinky toe side. What do you think of that? I know it's more challenging, especially if you're not supple in the hips, but
that's all
what
I
do you think of that?
That's all I think.
Okay.
It's more challenging, yeah. And most people will take it in their low back to get that hand over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I really appreciated your cue when we were in Uppa, Vista, Clonasana about really ground through the whole foot, because often the tendency with students is to lift the same side hip as the arm. And the cue I most often hear is to take the hips back, like re-squaring them. But to get it at the ground level just takes care of the whole thing. So I really appreciated that cue. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I think if we can build from the ground up, we'll get them a lot more stable, right? Because often they'll just swing their hips back to where they were, but they're just loosey-goosey there. They didn't ever get their earth element going. Like even the practice today was really about developing that solidity and earth, because you can't do that pose without being firm in your A-frame, right? And that's that apana, that downward flow, that earth element, really stabilizing that. Yeah. Good. Thanks, Tina. Thanks for your comments. Anybody else? Anything about the practice or any questions? Questions, comments, anything? I find it relatively challenging to put that heel down, especially first thing in the morning, right? If it's later in the day and I've had a chance to really warm up and be, kind of loosey all day. But lately I've had a tendency, I don't know what it is, but I've got about 2 weeks now that I wake up flat on my stomach, like I slept when I was a kid, slept all the way through college, on my belly, flat out, arms flayed out, one leg hiked up. And that has brought me tons of pain. But it doesn't now, right now, knock on wood. And I'm sleeping like I did when I was in college and high school. So thank God for that. One thing, I love sleeping like that on my belly. I feel all protected and it feels great. But I wake up in the morning, and because that hip flexor was up, then getting that length and then having to externally rotate, it's like, oh, this is a miserable pose. And I have no idea why I can't. I've tried to pack my pillows around so I have to stay on my side. I've tried to pack my pillows around so I can stay on my back, but I wake up on my belly. So I'm now having to deal with in the morning being tighter in the hip flexors than I was like 6 months ago, for example. So it's very humbling. It's really good for us yoga teachers to have those humbling moments where we realize how hard things are for anybody who doesn't have a daily movement practice. And I won't say just yoga, because you can do lots of things that will help you with a movement practice, right? As you know, for Babaji, our whole asana is just to get us to sit. which is what the word asana means, just your seat. So you're welcome, Donna. You're welcome. So just looking for a seat that's really comfortable for meditation is why we do all of these other things prior to that, really trying to warm up the hips and warm up the legs and warm up the arms so that when we're sitting in meditation, they're not yelling at us, right? They're not like, I need to move, I need to move. So, I'll tell you guys a secret. You know what? JD, Janardhan, who's one of our teachers at Mount Madonna, many years ago, I said to JD, I was in our classes and I could not be still for 10 minutes and my hips were killing me. And I just had to move. And I would very gently and quietly, and I made sure I brought blankets that made no noise. So I would very gently and quietly go from, cross-legged position to back into Vajrasana, because then it become bearable, and then Vajrasana will become unbearable and go back to a cross-legged position. So like in the 2-hour class, I would change positions maybe 8 times, I'm sorry to say, about every 15 minutes. So one day I asked JD at the end of class, I said, how do you not move? Because he's just like solid for 2 hours, right? Didn't move a muscle, not an eyelash. And I said, how do you do that? And he said, Babaji gave me a secret. And I said, really? He said, yeah, Babaji told me, this is the secret to not move. And then wiped off his slate and goes, do not move. So that's the secret. Just don't do it. Usually it's our monkey mind going, I want to move, I want to move, I want to move, I want to move. Let's move. Oh, this hip would feel so much better if I move. What I found out is it didn't feel any better. I could just let it go to sleep, and then it would shut up and leave me alone for the entire 2-hour class. And then I could barely get up. But it didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt my muscles, it didn't hurt my ligaments. Not being able to move something from a nerve, like, it's different. It's like I felt like I was going to the dentist and having a shot of lidocaine in my legs because I wouldn't move, and it would be sound asleep, and it would take it like 5 minutes to wake up, And it was really kind of funny because here is the asana queen and can't even get up after a 2-hour meditation. I was just stuck in my seat. It was like, no way. So I share with you that little tidbit, right straight from Babaji's slate. Do not move. Yeah. You 300 students, the one I'm seeing quite a few of them, and both mentors, you guys will totally remember that. Like Soma, Jaya, everybody's rock solid still, but it's because Babaji said, do not move. That's the secret. Just keep it steady. Keep it steady. Yeah. Okay, any questions about anything this morning? Mamata, nice to have you in class. Sylvia, my love. Hope. It's good to see all of even your pictures, even that's okay. And Nayana, you look really like you're in a beautiful cave back there. That's Susan. It says Susan L. That's Nayana, and she is in a beautiful cave with her pinks and peaches of her blanket and her meditation space. Hi, Sylvia. So nice to see. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary. You're backlit, so I can't really see your pretty face, but I know you're there. So nice to see everyone. Today we did earth, and on Thursday, we're gonna do water, okay? We're just gonna go right up those 5 elements one at a time. So you'll be able to go back and hopefully get in touch with them, okay? So on Thursday, we're into fluidity. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to have you this morning. Much love, everybody. Thank you. I'm so glad, Mama thought. The twisting to me is so detoxing. It's just really good. And remember, no low back twisting. Love your low back. Appreciate your low back. Keep your low back curve. God gave you that pretty little curve. Keep it.